The library smelled like old paper and lemon polish, a sanctuary tucked away from the chaos of the city. Eliza Harper, 23 and exhausted from juggling 2 part-time jobs, sat in the farthest corner, her fingers tracing the edges of a worn photograph. Her family's photo album had always been a source of warmth, filled with faded images of birthdays, park picnics, and Christmas mornings. But this one had always perplexed her. A man stood behind her mother and late father in the picture, tall, dark-suited, and smiling faintly. He seemed like a misplaced puzzle piece. Eliza had asked her mother once, years ago, who the stranger was, but her mother's answer had been swift and vague. An old friend, she'd said, changing the subject. Today, Eliza looked at the photo again, squinting at the man's face. There was something unnervingly familiar about him. She'd seen that face on magazines at the checkout counter, during business news segments, even on a billboard once. He was Nathaniel West, billionaire CEO of West Innovations. A tech magnate, philanthropist, and one of the richest men in the country. It made no sense. Driven by equal parts curiosity and frustration, Eliza impulsively wrote a letter. Not an email, a real letter. Dear Mr. West. My name is Eliza Harper. I am nobody of importance, just a girl who lives in a small Brooklyn apartment and works at a bookstore and a diner to make ends meet. But I have a question only you can answer. Why do you appear in my family's photo albums? Sincerely, Eliza. She never expected a reply. 3 weeks passed. Life continued with its usual monotony until one rainy Thursday evening. Eliza returned home, soaked from a late shift, to find a black envelope waiting under her door. Inside was a crisp white card. Ms. Harper. Some questions deserve answers. I invite you to visit my office tomorrow at 10 a.m. I assure you, this is not a joke. Nathaniel West. The building was glass and steel, piercing the sky. Eliza clutched her worn handbag tighter, her heart pounding as she stepped into the elevator. The top floor was quiet, a modern sanctuary with floor-to-ceiling windows and an open view of the city. He was waiting. Nathaniel West looked exactly like the man in the photo, older now, but the same eyes. Sharp, observant. Ms. Harper, he said, standing to greet her. Thank you for coming. Eliza sat cautiously. Why were you in that picture? He didn't smile. He walked to a side cabinet and pulled out a different photo album, older, leather-bound. Inside were images of her parents, younger than she'd ever seen them. And there he was again, not in the background this time, but beside them, laughing, celebrating, holding her as a baby. I was your father's best friend, he said softly. We met in college. I came from wealth. He came from nothing. But he was brilliant. Honest. The kind of man the world needs more of. He paused. We started West Innovations together. But when he met your mother and chose a simpler life, he walked away from it all. Gave up his share. Said some things mattered more. Eliza couldn't speak. I respected that. And I stayed in touch, quietly. After your father died, I helped your mother from afar. Not directly. She had pride. But through scholarships, aid programs, ways that wouldn't leave fingerprints. Her throat tightened. Why not tell us? Because kindness shouldn't need recognition, he said. And because your mother asked me not to. Over the weeks that followed, Eliza and Nathaniel met again and again. She learned stories about her father she'd never known. About his laugh, his dreams, the nights they spent coding in a basement before either had a dollar to their name. One evening, Eliza arrived to find Nathaniel not in his usual suit, but jeans and a sweater, holding a box. Inside were journals, letters, and a check made out to her name. Your father's original stake, adjusted for inflation and company growth. It's yours. She shook her head, stunned. I can't accept this. You already did, he said. When you asked a question others would have ignored. When you showed the same courage your father did. With the money, Eliza didn't buy a mansion or disappear to an island. She started a community center. A place for kids to learn, for single parents to find help, for the tired and overworked to feel human again. Nathaniel visited often, though never for the cameras. He painted walls, donated books, and taught coding to teenagers. He said it made him feel close to an old friend. One Christmas, Eliza placed a new photo on her mantle. Her, the children of the center, and Nathaniel in the middle, smiling gently. Below it, in her mother's careful handwriting, a note. Family isn't always by blood. Sometimes, it's by choice. And the world, harsh as it often was, felt just a little bit kinder. Here's the beginning of your story, written with emotional depth and global resonance. It's built around kindness, selflessness, and humanity, featuring a strong hook, relatable characters, twists, and a heartwarming resolution. Let me know if you'd like to continue expanding this toward the full 10,000 words or focus on specific chapters or scenes.